So the MPC 2000 XL in 2021 is gonna kind of be a review of the 2000 XL / comparison to the MPC One. I wanted to make this video because a few people are still asking about the 2000 XL. There's a few people that were commenting saying I'm debating with getting the 2000 XL versus the MPC One, and it breaks my heart to say it, but it's just the truth. The MPC One is just at another level. It's just so much faster, so much more convenient, it's so much more powerful versus an MPC One. But here's the thing, I promised myself to never, ever sell my MPC 2000 XL. I don't care how hard life gets, I will never sell this machine. As a matter of fact, I am going to say I would sell my MPC One before I ever sell my 2000 XL. Now, why would I do that when I'm saying that the MPC One is just more convenient, much more faster, it does everything and more than 2000 XL? The reason why is because this is a classic machine. And one thing about this machine that I will start off by saying this, I just cannot get from the MPC One is the sound that this will produce. Whatever I put into this machine, it'll give me something different when it comes back out of the speakers. It definitely colors your sound, and it definitely does add character to your sound. The MPC One is, honestly, it's perfect. Whatever I put into the MPC One is what I get out of the MPC One, which is great. I mean, I can add, there's so many plugins that you can add to color your sound. But something about the 2000 XL, it just hits different from the speakers. Now I want to talk about the workflow between these two machines, and this is actually something that is something great about the MPC One, but is something that has crushed me also on the MPC One. The workflow to make beats on the MPC One is so easy, it's so fast. If you want to chop up a sample and have slices of your samples, do it, and do it within seconds, and it does it so fast. And you're able to produce music within a snap of a finger. Now the 2000 XL, you cannot do that. This thing will make you work for your music. In order for you to do some slices or some chops for your samples, you will spend some time, and it's just time that you better make sure you know what you're doing, because if you spend an hour and you're just like, oh, this is garbage, you go ahead and turn off your MPC, don't save it. But it just makes you work for your samples. Now, the reason why I said it is a crutch on the MPC One on how easy and how fast it is to make music is because I just lost the process of making music. And there's times where I turn on the MPC One and I start making music and I just turn it back off. I do beats within like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I don't have a connection to it, and I just turn off the MPC. And there's been so many times I do that. Now on the XL, I've done that before. I'll make a beat and I just don't connect with it, but it's very rare. When I do turn this on, I make sure I'm connected with music, I'm feeling the vibe, I make sure that whatever it is that I'm gonna chop up or slice up, I'm just connected. I'm very focused, because again, this thing will take a lot of your time. So it just gives me more focus when it comes down to creating a beat versus over here. Now, something else to keep in mind on the 2000 XL, something that, it's unfortunate, but there is no choke groups. You can actually have only one choke group, which will let you choke up to 2 pads, but you cannot choke out any other pads. So, you gotta hold down the pad and just leave it on node on. And when you release that pad, your sample ends. And then you gotta click the next pad, and you gotta be very quick with your fingers. Versus the 2000 XL, it automatically chokes all your pads so you're able to perform beats, and that's why it makes it so fast and convenient to slice up samples over here, and that's why it takes so much longer on the 2000 XL. Now another thing is, once you record your samples onto the XL, you got probably a 4-bar or 8-bar loop. You either slice it up individually, which will take a long time, or you create zones. And when you create zones, it's kind of like your slices, but you gotta already know beforehand how many slices do you wanna have. That's why I kind of say, you know, before you sample into the XL, you already want to have the beat structure or the slices structured in your head, because you don't want to waste time and you don't want to create these slices for nothing. On the MPC One, you go ahead and just hit pads and it automatically starts slicing, which is so convenient and so much faster. Another way to sample into the MPC One or you have your slices is just by playing your record and sampling just 1-bar loops into the MPC One and just adjusting your start and your end point, and then saving it onto a pad, recording another section of the song into a pad, another section into another pad, and go step by step, which will take a very long time. It can take you up to 30 minutes versus the MPC One, you can do it within like 5 minutes. And now another thing is, when it comes down to sequencing your drums and having banks and programs, it's a little confusing on the MPC One. The workflow and the programs, how it's labeled and stores your programs and your pads. There's a lot of times where I create a new program and it deletes the previous one that I had. Like, it could be a little frustrating, and in order for you to go back, it's not as easy as just to undo. It does have an undo button. As soon as you lose a program, you're not gonna get it back. Now, talking about saving and trying to go back to what you had to save a beat in the 2000 XL, it takes a very long time depending on how much audio you have sampled into this machine. There's times where I save a beat and it will take me up to like 5 minutes just to save like 2 sequences. And on the MPC One, it will take seconds to save a beat. The technology is just at another level. Also, let's not forget that on the 2000 XL, most likely, if you do pick up an XL, you're probably gonna be dealing with floppy disk. These do not have SD cards. Now, I have seen you could get some expansion cards that will let you take in SD cards. I just don't know how much those cost, and you also have to install those, which could be a little tricky sometimes, but I'm using a floppy disk. I cannot connect this floppy disk into my Mac. I have to buy an adapter, which will cost like $250, which is pretty crazy. So I don't connect my floppy or my zip disk into my computer. I just sample my drums into the MPC One and save those samples onto my zip drive, which can store a lot of samples, and that's how I'm collecting samples into the MPC One. Now, it is something very beneficial of doing it that way, is that when I sample into the MPC One, like I've said, it's very transparent and very clear that whatever I sample into here is exactly what I get back out. But on the 2000 XL, it does color my kicks, my snares, my hi-hats. There's texture in these samples versus over here, it's transparent, which it could be a good thing for some people, but I like color. I enjoy machines or preamps or interfaces that will color my audio. I enjoy that character. Now, with all that being said, of course, it sounds like I'm bashing on the 2000 XL, and I'm just being honest with you guys with my workflow between these two machines. The MPC One, if you're just getting started, there's no question about it. I recommend the MPC One. I'm gonna recommend it all the time over something like the 2000 XL, unless you're going for that sound that the XL will give you. That's something that is unmatched, and that's something that makes me always want to pick up the XL and continue to make beats on the XL. Other than the sound, I also enjoy just the process, even though it takes a long time, but it's just something about me being connected with music. There's times where my wife sees me with my headphones on the XL and I'm zoned out, like I'm not existing at all. I'm just locked into the machine, And I love it. I love that connection. So this is definitely a unit that is gonna stay in my studio forever. I'm not gonna sell it. Doesn't matter what comes out. I might replace my MPC One in the future, which most likely I probably will when new technology comes out. But the XL will remain in the studio. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share my input with you guys on the XL, and hope you guys got something out of this. If you guys are thinking of the MPC XL versus the One, just pick up the One. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, guys, you guys have a blessed day. I'll catch you guys on our next video.
Grana